I remember Uncle Eddie and Uncle Jim Coffin. And Uncle Eddie lived over on King Street. And his brother Jim lived up at the top of King Street on, I guess it's West Sankaty Road. But anyway, Uncle Eddie was wonderful. He and my mother were fast friends. And we'd go over there of an afternoon and he'd talk about the old days in Sconset. He was quite elderly. And it was a fascinating kitchen because he had not one and two taps, but he had three taps over the sink. And one was hot water, and one was cold water, and one was scotch. And it came out of a spigot. And the story was that at one point there'd been a wreck off Sconset, and it had been a ship loaded with liquor, and the barrels and casks had come rolling in on the surf, and he went down with his horse and wagon, other people too, and they got all those casks of whiskey, and they took them up, and they had them in their house, and that's, so he'd have to have a little nip of something while we were talking. I can remember that quite clearly.
And I can remember the old Tom Nevers Inn was still standing when I was a child. And Eddie Coffin used to take us down Low Beach Road to the Tom Nevers Pond. And then he'd say, well, we were going to have our lunch on the other side at the Tom Nevers Inn, which it was empty, but we would go over there. And he would say, that is if I can get through the pond, if we don't sink. And of course, he knew it was only about a foot and a half deep, but we were all terrified. And he'd go a little ways, and then he'd say, oh, I'm not so sure. We'd all But he was wonderful. He was the best babysitter in Sconset. He was fabulous. He was just great.
I think his house is still on King Street,
Oh,
and I think
it is a wreck.
It still looks like it did years ago.
But it is a wreck now.
Yeah, it's a shame.
He had a horse named Lady, and he had a hayloft there. And he used to let us go up in the hayloft, and there were actually barn swallows. I mean, I thought I was in something pretty special up there. It was a wonderful, wonderful place to be.